Welcome back, everyone, to the CHG podcast.
What's up?
What's going on, everybody? It's almost there it is. Yes,
We're almost consistent.
it's almost Christmas time. That's what it was.
Hat.
I do, and it's awesome. You don't want to find a hat that fit this head and was comfy and wasn't like made out of like paper. Like that, I found this hat years ago, and I was like, I'm never letting go to this hat.
I think I remember when you found it.
Oh, I was so happy. I would for so many stories for this freaking hat, guys. You don't even know. Big head peeps, where you at? Anyways, we're gonna get into it. The gaming podcast here. We're gonna get right into it. We got a lot to talk about today. More news than I was expecting came about this week or so since we've last
Shohei
recorded.
Ohtani signed a huge contract.
Nobody cares, Dave.
10 years.
Nobody
$700
cares.
million.
Who cares? It's chump change. All right. Anyways, so we're gonna get right where we're playing. David, how about you let us know, what have you been playing?
I'm still playing Coral Island.
Naturally.
It's good. I wanted to play literally I think right after we got off, or like the day after we got off our last record, Baldur's Gate launched on Xbox.
Yes, it launched actually the day of the Game Awards last Thursday.
Yeah. And we didn't know about it, and we just fucking were talking.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Coming out.
I just happened to read an article the next day, and they were saying like, yeah, we were gonna tell everyone it was out, but we couldn't do that because everyone wanted all the speeches got rushed.
So I am I'm super poor right now, so it probably won't be until around my birthday or something.
Which is perfect for me because that means I can get him that for his birthday / Christmas.
When that comes out, then that's what I'll be playing. But for now, I'm just playing Coral Island. I made it through my first year. I'm trying to decide which honey I want to start a relationship with.
Ladies,
you got the fine black gal.
Ooh.
You got another girl. I don't know if she's black, but she's dark skinned. She looking nice.
I saw the Asian looking one when you told me about the game last week. I saw
nerdy
her.
Asian.
I saw her.
Yeah, the nerdy Asian.
She doesn't look nerdy to me. Maybe she acts nerdy, but she don't look nerdy. She does not look nerdy one bit.
Then you got like the low key, like oh, they're cute, but they're not, so it's like more low key. They're not as flashy as the other one. So I'll decide. It all comes down, to personality. Because everybody's looking fine.
Where's the elder emo chick at?
I don't. There's a tattooed green haired girl with a nose ring.
Oh, so did that get you?
I'm really between Macy, the black girl, and the Asian girl that I cannot remember her name. Kim, I think. But
so, have you gotten Serena on this game since it's kind of a farming game?
No, because she's seen me play it a lot. But she's a Stardew Valley girl, and like she likes that kind of like bitty kind of art style better.
Oh yes, the retro style. Yeah. Okay. I would say if she was, she plays Guys Arcadia, so she knows how to play action games. I would say, like, have you tried to get her into Sea of Stars, maybe?
I was thinking about going and playing, the like I was saying last time, the old Nintendo ones.
Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon, but then there's the offshoot, the Rune Craft. There's a Rune one. That's like an offshoot of it, like it's farming, but there's also a lot of like combat and stuff. Like it's more focused on the combat.
I don't think it's Rune Factory.
No, it is Rune Factory.
Okay.
It is, Rune Factory.
Okay.
So I might play that, and who knows if she'll get on. But she's not a huge into it.
Yeah, I know she's not.
We're just gearing up for a big season of anime.
Oh yeah, is it coming? Is it gonna be hot? There's good
stuff.
Yo, when's the second season of My Dress Up Darling coming out, man? When's that coming?
I don't know.
When's it coming?
I don't know, but we need it.
We need it. Where's it at?
We need it.
They did the season
story.
2. They did the season 2 of Spycross Family like immediately. Like
not immediately. It's this season, and it was almost a year.
It's been like way longer than that for My Dress Up Darling. I swear.
It has. But it's coming. It was too big. It did well enough that it should get a second season. But this next season, we're getting solo leveling. We're getting Kaiju number 8. We're getting the next season of My Life Reincarnated as a Slime.
Did
We're getting
JJK
some
already come out, or is that gonna be this season?
JJK is this season, and oh my god,
Yeah,
it went
there it
fucking
is.
hard.
There it is. Yeah, that's I've heard
Oh
about
my
that one.
god, it went so
I've been
hard.
hearing about that one.
And it's gonna get harder. I'm reading the manga
How
because
long has
I
it been?
caved.
How long has it been since the last JJK?
Not that long.
Okay,
Less than a year, I think.
is it not like one of the OGs? I swear, like
Mm.
I remember. I don't know. No, I remember you told me this before. You were
No,
telling
it's
me
a new
before.
wave.
Because to me, it feels like it's old. Cause I've been hearing. I feel like I've been hearing about it forever.
No,
But it's not. It's not as old as I
Demon
thought.
Slayer, JJK, Chainsaw Man is like the new.
Wait, isn't Chainsaw Man really new though? I thought that was
Really,
just.
they've only had one season, but
Yeah.
like as far as manga, manga combined with like what's gonna happen, what's coming.
Mm.
It's like the new top 3 as far as shonens are concerned. Like you could throw My Hero in there, but it's kind of more. I don't want to say a little kiddish because the last season of My Hero was also fucking hard.
It went hard. It went nuts.
It went really hard. But yeah. Anyway, so
you,
excited.
Do you think that they're trying to establish a new 3 or 4? You think they're even trying to do that? I feel like they need to eventually. But what do you think they're doing right now?
Like, I think it could be marketed as that. But like, I don't think you're not gonna get that same recipe, that same storm of Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, because one, there's just better like girth of quality anime out there. Like there's too much pulling people in different directions. And we're also what we're also seeing is a switch from even like JJK. So JJK is wrapping up its manga. And so where we are at in the anime is only 3 arcs removed from its ending. So we're only going to get 3 more seasons of JJK.
Okay.
So like this long form where it'll like take over everything, you're not seeing as much. So you're seeing them hit hard and then kind of fade. Demon Slayer is I think like 2 or 3 arcs until it's done. Chainsaw Man has a little bit longer just because it hasn't really, it's only had 1 season.
Yeah.
But it isn't that long either. I think it's the shortest of all of them as far as arcs go. And then you have other ones that are coming, like Kaiju number 8 is going to be really big. Solo leveling should be pretty big. But yeah, so you're not seeing it's like I don't think there ever will be. I think that it's just more consistent now. Like there's just
the climate.
There's something big every season.
Yeah.
And because it's seasonal now, and where like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece was, it never stopped.
It just doesn't go. It just doesn't.
Now, yeah, it just doesn't end.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing like this season it was as far as shonens are concerned, it was JJK, Spy Family, and that was pretty much it. Next season you'll have Solo Leveling, Kaiju number 9, Kaiju number 8, and some other ones, and My Hero's coming back. And then next season you'll probably have Chainsaw Man. And so like it's just every season there's another big shonen. It's just not the same shonen every season. So
I see.
It's just a little different.
It seems to be the main thing is that the climate was different from what you were saying. Like, and I remember back. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it, but I remember. If I remember my mind correctly, yeah, like unless you were like, super nerd and had access to watch stuff in Japan, which most of us didn't have that.
Yeah, also different, yeah.
Back in the 90s and early 2000s, unless you were like that deep into it, you only watched what was on Toonami or whatever, right? And so, I guess they benefited from being early adopters of sorts. They were one of they're the OGs for the reason. Like, and because
they
of that,
got over a good time.
They got to benefit from the lack of quality animes of their caliber. Of course, there was other ones, but like to that caliber, it was just them. It kind of reminds me of like YouTubers, right? Like the OG YouTubers of different genres, right? Like they're big.
And now we just have a girth of really high quality.
Yeah, and now they're everywhere, and no one can. Even if you're good, it's hard to stick out, right? And even if you do, it's still not going to be nowhere near to the OGs that that everyone wants to be like. Is people forget like part of their success was because they came at it. Early. They took a risk.
Yeah.
They were early adopter. It could have failed, but they didn't, and they reaped the rewards. But anywho, all right, we'll have fun with that. One day you'll get Baldur's Gate, David. One day. So I am playing. I moved on to the second to last WRC game, WRC Generations. I am playing the PS4 version. It is WRC is like the perfect game to like. If I need to catch up on watching stuff, it's the perfect game for that because it doesn't require much of me. It's just rally stages, and that's it, and you're done. It's all right if your dog's in the frame. Um, but like that's all it is, right? It's super chill. It's like my chill game. Like people like Serena likes to play, Stardew Valley. You'll play Coral. I'll play WRC or other racing games. For me, because like I don't usually unless it's like some super hard sim like Assetto Corsa, I usually don't have to like focus too hard while I'm playing the game, so I can like watch some stuff that I've been catching up on like on YouTube or from other creators or something like that, right? Like that I really
Yeah.
want to watch. So I'm playing that now, but I'm still playing Ashen, and now that game has pissed me off. So I said last week I was playing it. It's like an indie Souls like more. I would say indie. It's kind of more like double A level quality because like indie is kind of giving it too not enough credit, and it's also being published by Annapurna. And yeah, like they publish weird games, but like it doesn't mean they're indie per se. Like they're an established publisher at this point, and so
Mm.
um I would say is more kind of the double A level, but like it definitely shows like the lack that it's not from a major studio. It definitely shows. And I beat the game, and the final boss was terrible. Like it's been a while since I've struggled this hard on an end game boss, but it's all because of the it's reasons because I can only really tie back to the fact that it is a double A level game. Like it doesn't
Mm.
have good fluidity. Um, the dodge roll isn't really that good. Um, and it just seemed like they kind of just dropped the ball with the final boss with her movements and her attacks based on what you can do as a player. Like it's really weird. And then they like you can only hit so fast, but like the enemies can always hit like she can all her attacks hit way faster. So you're never gonna like hit her first most of the time unless you press the button before she even wind it up first. And so like that's really frustrating. And then she has a second phase where she has like spider legs and stuff, and so she's really fast, but like she can attack way more often, and it's like it's just and like you can block stuff, but like you need to be like really precise. Like I think like the timing is like there's like a slight delay in like when you're actually supposed to block,
Mm.
and it's just frustrating. But I beat it finally after some attempts. But now I have to beat the game again on what they call Children of Cisna mode, which is essentially like its hard mode. So instead of just having a new game plus and just buffing health and stuff like any other Souls game ever would do, they were
Mm.
like, no, we'll keep damage output and stuff like that the same, but you start the game with half your health and half your stamina than you normally start the game off. And the way you get health and stamina, which is by completing side quests and main missions, you don't get the full amount, you get a reduced amount as well. So it's the most arbitrary handicap I've ever heard of, and it is one of the worst approaches to difficulty I've ever heard of or seen. And that's why people have struggled with it. It's like I'm doing good damage, all right. They're not hitting me any harder, but because I have such a lack of health, I still will go down in one hit. So like as
Yeah. So you have to be even more conservative
and you have to
with
remember,
your
this
attacks.
game, you can't upgrade your armor. You can find better armor, but you can't upgrade the armor. And so you're stuck with the armor that you have. You can only upgrade your weapons, but only to on main game I heard is +7, but I thought saw something in a forum that it might go to +10 in this hard mode. I don't know, can't say for sure, but it's going to be at least +7. Um, but like so you can do that, but like it still doesn't matter if your health pool is still really low to start off with, and also your stamina will also be cut. So it's like you can't even be on the attack as much as you normally would. Like it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And
Yeah.
so I beat the first boss yesterday night. That boss was actually surprisingly easy. I did it in one try. I was like, okay, that's good. But I know what's coming next, and I'm not looking forward to it. I do have there's 4 main bosses in the game, but then there's like this extra boss that's in between the first and second one. I'm at that guy right now. I haven't tried him yet, but I'm who knows what's gonna happen. Either it's gonna be a nightmare or I'm gonna get through it. But yeah, I don't know what else is gonna take because like I'm dying to like the regular enemies on the maps, and this map is even more stingy with bonfires than like any Souls game like you've ever played. Like it is ridiculously stingy. It's like remember the Duke's Archives in Dark Souls 1? Did you ever get that far?
Of course, I didn't.
I can't even give you an explanation because I haven't played Elden Ring, so I can't even tell you any kind of a comparison there. So, all right, never mind. But anyways, it's so stingy. So it's like you're just running around everywhere, but then like you get hit and you have such a slow health pool, you'll die super fast. And you have an AI companion, which is great. And if they go down once, you can bring them back. But if they go down again, they're dead. You don't have any more partners, and it's just you. And that game was built assuming you have an AI companion. It makes it so much easier because that guy or girl, whoever it is, they're a tank. I don't know why, but they're a tank. They
you
have
were telling me the last one.
so much health than you do, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, this is gonna be a slog. I'm not looking forward to it. I know it's gonna be. I didn't know it was gonna be. I mean, I knew about it, but like I didn't think it was gonna be that much of a problem. But like, yeah, now it's a problem. So, well, I'll get through it eventually. I've done tough things before. Anyways, that's pretty much all I've been playing. So anyways, guys, we're going to get into not a main story per se, but a lot of stuff we're going to touch on. Surprisingly, despite it being the holidays and the joyous times, there's been a lot of death this week. And I use that word, I shock value and all that, but like there's a lot of things that got either canceled or shut down this week. Weird. So I'll start off with one. E3 has officially been done. It's officially done. The organizers announced this past week that they are no longer going to be doing E3. It is now sunset forever. At least for the foreseeable forever.
Yeah.
Now to some of to a lot of younger people, this might not be a big deal, right? It was like, who cares? Maybe they probably have never even seen one, or if they have, it was like maybe a couple, and then they saw the Summer Games Fest, and that's been all they've done. But like to us old heads, it's like, damn. I mean, it's.
I wonder if this'll. I wonder if like James Keeley,
Not James.
Jeff Keeley,
Yeah.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
will come on and like they'll just get the name, and then it'll be like E3 Summer Game Fest. And they'll have both like the name recognitions.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Like,
that'd be kind of cool, actually.
I just don't know how much it'll be worth it to them. Like, because they're already the biggest game show now.
Well, they're really the only one.
Yeah.
So
so like, I don't even know if it would help, but that was just a thought.
I mean, it's not like they need help, but maybe to kind of keep the spirit alive, I guess. Maybe. I mean, I would welcome it because, like, okay, so for all us older heads, who grew up with E3, like E3 was like, that was like Christmas come early for gamers, I mean, yes, it was a press, like, news outlet thing, but because they were showcasing so much stuff coming out, it was like, oh my gosh, like Christmas is here.
Yeah, it was some crazy stuff. I remember the first one that we watched together.
Gosh, was 2016? No, it was probably at work. It was at GameStop, probably 2015 then.
No, I'm thinking about the one that we were at your house.
That's probably 2017 or 18.
Yeah. I remember the first one I ever watched, where they announced the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Oh, 2013. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that was crazy. That was the first one where I ever had like real money, because I was working full time after I graduated. And I went out the next day and like pre-ordered the Xbox One. I made the decision right there. I was like, I'm an Xbox guy. I'm gonna get the Xbox One. I pre-ordered that, and then I remember I pre-ordered it with Dead Rising 4.
I was gonna say with what?
Dead Rising 4, and then eventually I got Rise, Son of Rome.
Actually, Dead Rising 3, but
was it Dead Rising 3?
Surprised you didn't want to do Forza because that was a launch title.
I think I also got Forza.
Because like if I
think I got Dead Rising 3 and Forza, and then later I got Rise.
I absolutely would have got Forza, and I probably would have, if I had the money, I probably would have done Rise. Probably, because I mean, like if I'm looking for something that's only on Xbox, I probably would have done those two, right?
Well, but, I mean, Dead Rising was only on Xbox.
You're right, but
that's when we got exclusivity.
Dead Rising isn't a good game, but neither is Rise.
No, Dead Rising 3 was a good game. You shut your mouth. Dead Rising 4 sucked. Dead Rising 3 was good.
The whole franchise sucks. Anyways, so yeah, I think for me, it was 2011, 2010, 2011 was like when I was like, when I found out that my TV actually had the channel, it had
Mm.
G4 TV. This is before internet, all right, guys. Like before people were broadcasting this live, you had to turn on G4 TV and hope you had it on, hope it was airing. Like I'd be rushing home from school because they would do it in the afternoon, and you're like, oh shit, you gotta get it on. You gotta hope you don't miss the PlayStation showcase or the Xbox one or whatever. The Ubisoft and this and that. Because back then it was a very set schedule. Everyone had their time slot for like 3 days, and I'm just like, oh man. But luckily, I had a math teacher in 10th grade who was a mega nerd, and he actually put it on his computer during class. It was awesome. He did that shit during class. It was sweet. But yeah, I think that was around the times I was like really like diving into gaming. Like I was like, this is like my life. Probably this what when David realized anime was his life. That was like for me, like this is what I'm about. And watching that, I would get so excited every year to watch E3. Like just it was awesome. And then when I was in college and I could make sure I was home, it was even better. Um and so it was always that like there was actually like a bucket list of mine to attend an E3. That was like a bucket list item for me. I just was never in a position to get the tickets, first of all, to fly to LA and then get tickets to not tickets, but like book a hotel for a few days. And then, hopefully, this is before they opened it up for the public because they only did that for like a couple years.
Mhm.
But then I would have to also hope that they would be open to the public or whatever, this and that. And so it was always a bucket list. So to know that it's gone, it's like, damn. So the best thing
Yeah.
I have is Summer Games Fest, but I don't think it's an in-person thing. I don't think it still
No,
is.
I don't think. I think
So
it's media only.
unless they do, like my hopes are gone for that now, and it makes me very sad.
We had our packs. We had our packs.
Yes, but okay. So I went to PAX this past year, and if that's any showcase, they don't really do reviews anymore at PAX.
Yeah, no
They used to, but
reveals,
nowadays
not reviews.
I said reviews, didn't I?
You said reviews.
I meant to say reveals. I meant reveals
Yeah.
then. But review. Oh gosh, I said it. Okay, there it is. I did say it. Okay, reveals, gameplay stuff. Trailers. Sneak peeks here and there. Like, there's really little of that. Which thing, and I don't know if PAX is really that was its point. But like,
Yeah.
you used to get that though. Like I remember, before I ever started going, I would like go on the news sites and they would have had announcements at PAX or actually at any of the PAXs. And even sometimes Comic Cons would even get some game announcements too. But if this year was any indication, then they're not really doing that anymore. So really, it's only the Summer Games Fest, and then like Gamescom in August, and then you have TGS, which sometimes they do announcements, sometimes, but not really. But yeah, that's it. And so it sucks, man. Like this I was actually really. I mean, I would kind of held hope that maybe they'll be able to renaissance and come back, but when they were like, no, it's dead. It's dead.
Rip E3.
Rip, man. Pour one out for the homie, man. E3. Pour one out for the OG, man. I mean, like, people give it criticism, or people haven't given it criticism in the last, before it, like, was on hiatus. But, like, and whether it's granted or not, like, people have to respect this importance. Like, because
Yeah.
it's been around, like, I think 94? 94, 95 was his first one. And, like, it was it started giving the industry some legitimacy to provide its own conference and its own event for like for games, systems, whatever have you. And it was a very important piece in making this industry what it is today.
Yeah.
And so it can't people shouldn't forget about it, because without it we may never even have a Summer Games Fest. So
Yep.
yeah. Anyway, so that's the first death of this podcast. Second one, it was announced, I think, just today or maybe yesterday. Well, okay, today the 15th, Friday 15th, or Thursday the 14th of December, that the Last of Us multiplayer game has been canceled.
Oh, really?
It has been. They confirmed
it's
it's
a
canceled.
bad week for zombie games, man. It's a
Yes.
bad week for zombie
Yes.
games.
So they officially canceled it. Now,
Interesting.
reactions.
I that gets me because like it was weird that they were making it its separate thing
Yeah.
and that it didn't just launch with Last of Us 2.
Hmm.
It's weird that it had been so long, but I was like, man, like with the positive reception that the the game got, how remembered I'm talking two got the how remembered the multiplayer from one is, and then you had the show smash. Like I thought it was I thought it would like I thought it was a good idea. I was like, okay, now I get why they're fine tuning it. I thought that they were going to release it like at the end of the TV season. I feel like
Well,
that's when they should have done it.
I swear they announced the multiplayer during the hype of the game's release. They were saying like we're going to be releasing this
No,
later at a later date.
they told us at the game when the game was launched that they were working on it as a separate.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm looking when the game
Oh,
launched,
my bad.
when the game came
Yeah,
out, like in 2020.
yeah, and that's yeah, and then
But then we
then
go the
the
whole
show
year, we go the whole rest of 2020, nothing. 2021,
nothing.
very a couple here and there, but not much. And so I'm thinking like, how long does it do to just make a multiplayer spinoff? Like,
Yeah,
what?
that's why I thought they were gonna like okay, this show's hitting hard. They must be almost done with this thing. I think they're gonna launch it at the end of the TV show. Like, hey, while you wait for season two, play the multiplayer launching, now. But they didn't. But yeah, man, that sucks because I know you were looking forward to it.
No, I wasn't.
I thought you were because
Anything
you liked the first
multiplayer,
one.
I'm not. I only okay.
I
It's
thought you liked the first
fine.
one.
It's fine. But I
Oh,
will
you did it for the
never. I wouldn't.
trophies.
Yeah, I only did it for the trophies. Oh, what
That's
the
true.
fuck? You kidding me?
That's true. My
Are
bad.
you
My
out of
bad.
your damn mind? Why the fuck would I play a multiplayer? You know I hate that shit. Okay, I
That's
I was actually happy it was dead. I was like good. I was spitting on his grave. I was so happy. Because they don't like but I think the wrinkle here though is that so recently Sony put announced or was shown or not revealed, apparently Sony wants to try to pivot to having more live service games, and so this could have been steering towards that direction. Maybe Naughty Dog was like, I don't know about that, and that could have led us to cancellation. It's all speculation, but it is true that Sony is trying to pivot and have more live service games, and but it's speculation that maybe that decision played a role in this game's being canceled. So who knows? I don't really
because
care,
good guy
but
Naughty Dog was like, "You're not touching our baby."
yeah, yeah. Don't you bastardize our own game. If anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be us. But so yeah, I mean, reception's been mixed. People like myself who are totally like, yes, like let a single player focused developer do single player. Yes, the factions was good and it was better than anyone gave it credit, like any hope for, because during that time. A lot of single player games were getting tacked on single players, like Tomb Raider and Batman Arkham Origins,
Oh God.
to name a few. So people were nervous, right? Um, but like, and it was fun, and people still play the PS4 version, and it's still the servers are up and all that stuff. Like when I played it to get the platinum, like I never had a problem finding matches. So people still play it, yes, but no one. There's a reason why no one really talks about it when they bring up the game. There's a reason why. No matter how good it is, it's just a nice, fun, well-built distraction. That's all it ever was. Um, I would say even more to that than like Uncharted 2's and 3's multiplayer. Because like that was fully freaking fleshed out. Like that was ridiculous. Like I played 2 and 3 multiplayer as well. And wow, it was ridiculous. Like I'm not gonna say it was no Call of Duty, but like the amount of effort they put into it made you think it was like as far as like perks and like unlockables and the maps and all that stuff and the modes and all this. It
Mhm.
was way more than anyone thought it was gonna be. And
Yeah.
so but yeah, but again, people no matter how fleshed out that was, people still don't talk about the multiplayer for Uncharted 2, 3, or 4. There's a reason why. So so people are they're like myself and they're like fine, it's okay. Some people like yourself were like, oh man, like I was kind of looking forward to that. I want to see what it was going to look like and be like. So it's a bit mixed all over the place. There's no general consensus because there are plenty of people who do like the multiplayer and they think if Naughty Dog could do such a good job with the single player stuff, they should the hopes are high that they could make a good multiplayer component as well, but we'll never know. we'll never know. But they said whatever they worked on with this, they're gonna take what they learned from this into their new projects, and apparently they have more than one in the works. So what that could be, who knows? Um, but yeah, so there's that. That death happened literally just the other day. So rip to Last of Us 2, whatever multiplayer thing that was
and then
gonna
on to
be.
the
And
biggest
then
the biggest
oh man,
surprise of
yeah, the
2023. No
biggest.
one saw it
No,
coming.
no one, not a damn soul
We
at
thought it
all.
was like we saw them through their troubles
Honestly,
over the years.
I thought they
We
were
all
dead
believed
already.
in them.
I thought they were dead. No, I never believed in them for a second. But okay. So for those who don't know, there's a game on PC called The Day Before, and it has had an interesting
Yeah.
development over the last several years, like many years,
Yeah, it's been a while.
many years, almost a decade worth of weirdness of development. So it launched on Steam what last Friday, I think, and then by Monday or Tuesday this week, they announced
The
that
company
the
shut down.
studio shut down.
Yeah. Well, like just the
Oh
craziness of it, just
man.
like though it was shown off and everybody was hyped, but then we didn't hear anything. Everybody was like, "Man, this game isn't real," and it reached like the number one requested or
Wi- was it
watch list or whatever
GIF
on Steam.
wish listed, I
Wish
think, wish
listed. There you
listed.
go. On Steam, but then we were like, oh no, it's not real. It's never gonna come out. And then they're like, bitches, it's coming out this year.
And then
And they were all like, and then we started seeing screenshots and like kind of gameplay, like small gameplay snippets, and we're like, you said this was an MMO shooter.
where's
This
the
doesn't look like an
where's
MMO
the MMO
shooter.
part of this game? Like,
Yeah.
hey,
And
what's
they're like, no, it'll be in there. It's just you can't see it in the. And then it launched. Everybody's like, this fucking isn't what you said it
you
was.
made Tom Clancy's Extraction, but worse.
Yeah, yeah.
Way
And then
worse.
and then they're just like, peace. Like I know all of the ones. I know you all bought this game and whatnot. But
Deuces. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. So our buddy, I won't say his real name, Reaper Punk. That's what his Twitch channel goes by. He reached out to me actually this week and was telling me about it. He like sent it to me and I was like, oh yeah, I already heard about it. And I know they shut down. He was actually excited for it too, as I'm sure a lot of people were, right? Like,
yeah.
because it looked. I remember seeing this game. It looked like a more
If it was what we were shown and promised,
like at first, yeah,
and they delivered on it, even if they didn't deliver basically what I was hoping for as someone who does like zombie survival games. I was like, if I get a State of Decay but MMO, I would be pretty cool. I would like to run around with my friends and like kill zombies and build a base and like go on supply runs and stuff like that. Like that would be really cool.
what I so okay. The reason why I didn't have hope for this a long time ago, and I just let it completely leave my head. Right, this was a long time ago. I ran across a random video on YouTube that did a full breakdown of the game, right? And that's how I remembered the game because I watched the full thing, and he was breaking down how like this game isn't what you think it's going to be, and he was actually using those early like those first couple gameplay or whatever you want to call them snippets that they showed us, they showed the public, but those were just vertical slices, right? And I was like, well, what's that? He was like, I guess that's what the term that they use when they present like a good, basically what we see all the time at E3 or Summer Games Fest, where they show like a very curated piece of the game and it happens. And
Yeah.
sometimes when such happens, you're just thinking like, the game's not going to work like that, is it? It's not.
Yeah,
it's just it's specifically made that way.
Yeah, specifically what people were talking about when they were talking about that is that the gameplay that we were seeing had no HUD. It had no contextual prompts on when he was like opening doors and stuff. Like there was no press X to open the door. Like there was no contextual prompts, there was no HUD, there was no map. So then even if it is gameplay, it's not gameplay
it's not
because that's
it's not
not.
indicative of the actual product,
Yeah,
right? It
yeah,
might be in engine, but it's not what you're gonna ever play or see. And but like I know they're talking about that now, but the video I watched pointed that out months or
yeah,
maybe even a year ago, right? And I was like, huh, that's interesting. And also, but he was also pointing out parts where like was like a shootout in one of the convenience stores and like stuff was flying. It was so dynamic and all this and that. He was like, yeah, that's just a vertical slice. That's probably not indicative of the actual game. And then apparently the people who make some devs or whoever were actually in an interview talking about it, and he was picking that apart. And then he was saying how like they couldn't properly speak, with the vertical slice that they showed off of whether that would actually translate to the real game. And so he was just like dissecting everything that had been presented up to this point, and he was like, "This is fishy. This something doesn't add
yeah.
up with this
It's the
game."
fucking Division trailer all over again.
And and here's the funny thing, because like that, the reason why I was even interested in that game at first was because it reminded me of the Division in a good way. Like it kind of has the same vibe, the same feel, even looks the same. I think they might be using the same engine or something, but
Yeah.
and so I was like, huh, this looks kind of interesting. And if that was all actually true, like I was like, I saw that dynamism of the everything moving and getting shot at it. I was like, I want this to be real. Like I want this. Like this would be amazing. But obviously, I know you and I both watched the Game Ranks video dissecting this game, and the big point I think that the narrator brings up is that none of this could be possible in an MMO. Like point blank, no matter who you like, there's a reason why it hasn't been done. There's a reason why you can't have a game look this good and have all these things happening, but also be an MMO. Like
Yeah.
that just can't work. The game will break. Like it'll just break. And I was thinking like that's a good point. And when I think about it, I was thinking like, yeah, every MMO I've ever looked at looks like ass. There's probably a reason for
And
that.
I think the best one I've ever seen has been the Final Fantasy one, and
Probably
even that
14,
is,
yeah. Or
yeah, even that is not
uh
super great.
Black Desert Online, I think. At least far as
Yeah,
fidelity, like and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because that's an MMO. And I think and that one at least looks and like plays well, but I'm sure there's probably some other concessions that I don't know if I haven't played it yet. But at least on the
mm,
surface, it does pull that off, but I'm sure there's something in the background that has to suffer. But like, yeah, like that was the biggest cue to me was like, oh yeah, this is supposed to be an MMO. This would never work. This would never work.
yeah, and like I kind of when they said MMO, I was like like because I'm not a huge MMO guy.
Hmm.
I was hoping when I first saw it, I was hoping just like a Left for Dead ish, but like that the world it wasn't like Left for Dead. Like, but what I mean with Left for Dead is like 4 people
Yeah,
in
like
your
a group.
game,
You
and
have a
like
group. You're grouping up.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have the open world, and
Hmm.
you can like go and build a base and a survival type of
Hmm.
environment thing. But
So okay, so like State of Decay slash Daisy, whatever survival,
mm,
but with the Left for Dead community or not community, Left for Dead camaraderie, whatever
style,
style, but plays like the Division.
yeah, yeah,
That's
you know
basically
the
what we
best
wanted.
game, yeah, the best of all worlds kind
Yeah,
of thing.
all of that stuff. Which is like, dude, what game have you ever made before? It's
Yeah,
it's funny. Like it's just like in this game, I don't know how much marketing it did. I probably couldn't afford too much, but somehow
it was mainly
everyone
just
everyone got
they
crazy hyped. Everyone
yeah.
got crazy hyped, and so it's like you want to start calling out maybe hype culture, right? But at the same time, I don't think they were like marketing much because they probably couldn't. They did that vertical slice, and then word of mouth went from there.
Yeah, I think what it was honestly, like, unless it was like a full on con job, which a lot of people are saying like, hey, this from the get go, this was what they meant to do. At best, it was they showed a really good trailer. Somebody on their team is just damn
Hmm.
good at making a trailer, and then the hype just got away from them. And like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna kill? Like, you have all this free publicity hype. Are you really gonna kill that
I mean,
and be like, "Hey guys, chill. Like,
I mean,
this isn't what you think it is," kind of thing. Like,
true, but now look at where they're at. They might. I mean, now what I saw that they're actually going to offer refunds. They're not just going to like
yeah, they are.
they're not just going to
Yeah,
take the money and run. So they are offering refunds, and so it's like to answer your question, it's like okay, it's either you be ethical and you just immediately kill possibly a bunch of your potential sales, but at least you don't get any backlash, or you don't say shit, but now you're in this predicament. You have to give away the money anyways.
yeah,
So like either way, you're not going to come out as strong as you think you are. So it's like it's and who knows, like if they and I don't know, like I know it's such a taboo thing because business, right? But like I always like think like you most of the time if you try to go the more ethical route, you can at least see better dividends down the line. Not
Yeah,
immediately, but
I
down the
feel like
line you can.
if they come out and been like, "Hey guys, we're hearing all the feedback. Thank you, but here's what the game actually is. It is going to be an extraction type, multiplayer shooter, loot and shoot and out kind of extraction type thing." Yeah, they'll have a huge drop off, but the people who like those games might still be like, "Hey, we still
I'll give it a
like that
shot.
type of game. We
Yeah.
might, see what it's about." And then they could be this lower scale kind of game. But it's so bad that they had to fucking just close
Yeah, but
shop.
but since they didn't shut up, and then okay, so they sent us two vertical slice style, where like what the no HUD and like showing all these things that were supposed to be gameplay, and
Yeah.
then when they finally showed us real gameplay, like you mentioned earlier, and people were like, "Wait, that don't look nothing like those two
Yeah,
things
it's not
do."
even
Like it's
close.
not,
Like it
yeah,
is
not even close. And so
like we're not talking like a puddle gate, watchdogs, kind of shit. We're talking like this isn't even the same fucking game. Like
yeah,
what
like this is. Yeah, like the only thing that looks the same is the houses. Like that's it. Like otherwise, everything
that
else
you
is like,
can't
what did
enter.
you
Like
do?
you can't go
Like
into.
where did the game go? But so it's like when they did that, it's funny how people were still, I guess, excited to some extent or whatever. Because like I feel like they kind of showed their hand with that. Now, what I think they should have done at that point is also provide some developer commentary, like put out a dev diary or something to go along with this. So at least like they could hear from the horse's mouth, like, yo,
Yeah.
this,
Some
hey, those were just vertical slices, concepts, what we were hoping to have with the game, but this is actually what the game will be like. Like,
yeah.
I feel like if they had provided some of that extra context on top of that real
Which
gameplay trailer, it would have sucked for them sales wise, but at least it wouldn't have had this
and I
happen.
think I think the interesting thing for me as like a self proclaimed video game historian type of person who pays attention and remembers shit, basically is what I'm
Okay.
saying. It makes No Man's Sky's success even more
Impressive.
impressive
Yeah. Yeah.
because they like No Man's Sky was on this level of like
Mm-hmm.
disappointment and diverging from what they said the game was going to be.
Yeah.
At least with No Man's Sky, it still was the type of game they said it was going to be,
Kind of.
just with far less detail. I think the only thing that they didn't like deliver on until later was that there was no real like
Multiplayer,
multiplayer.
but also
Yeah,
like
like
the what was in the worlds. I think they were promoting much more
yeah, no,
than
it was this level of like this
where's
is
the
not what
game? Like
you this is
where
not what you promised us.
yeah.
And yet they took that and now it is what they promised.
Yeah.
And they stuck through it. Now, of course, they had Sony's
I would say, yeah, that's the
financial
big
backing.
thing. I don't know who the day before is published by, or even if they're backed
It
by.
was like a new company.
Yeah, if it was backed by like Tencent, oh man, this game would be alive still. They'd probably be putting money pumping this game. But like, yeah, so it's just like it's moments like these as a business person, as a business major, right? Because you hear all these examples, and you go through school and you hear all these things, right? You learn what you're supposed to do, right? You learn what you're supposed to do with a business, whether you're running one or just a part of one. How it just blows my mind when this stuff like this happens. It's like you guys watched all of this happen over the last like 8 years. How did no one be like, hey guys, I think we might need to tell everybody what the game really is? Like, how does no one see that happening? I can't believe it's like you really thought you could just get this game out in this state and no one would want a refund? What?
Yeah. It's
What?
crazy.
And
Crazy.
for a backlash like this, I know Steam's refund is pretty strict.
2 hours.
2 hours. But I imagine for something of this magnitude, they're probably gonna have to let some stuff slide that they normally wouldn't, for things like this.
I mean, if you're playing it more than 2 hours, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know what you're hoping
Well, it
for.
could be, yeah, I don't know. Like, is it just, does it actually track the playtime? It doesn't track like maybe
Playtime.
how long you've had the game?
It's 2 hours in a week
In a week?
of like
Hmm.
yeah, so it's 2 hours of playtime or a week of ownership, I believe.
Well, okay. Well, anyway, but I'm so I can totally see for something like this, like for a game that had this much backlash and there was this much discourse about it, there might be
Yeah.
some situations where they actually have to, like, where they normally wouldn't get a refund. They're gonna have to because it's this game. You know,
Yeah.
probably the same thing with like Gollum or like King Kong or that King Kong game. It's like, crap. Yeah, we kind of have to get a refund for this one. You know, where normally they wouldn't. So it's just like they're gonna lose out even on even more money. So I'm just like, even if you were a greedy like publisher guy or whatever. It's like, okay, cool, be greedy, but also like, do you just not have eyes? Like, I just don't get it. Like, you have a brain, you can walk to the office every day. How do you not look at this and be like, ooh, okay, if I can maximize my greediness, I should probably let people know what's up, you know, so I can at least get some of this pie. You know, it just blows my mind. It's like if you're gonna
Yeah.
be a crook, be at least be a smart crook. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
it's crazy.
So it's yeah, so this was been the wildest one. I find it funny people were actually excited for this game because I lost all interest like a long time ago. I mean,
I knew once it was delayed for so long, I lost all hype for it. And
mhm,
then when they were like, "No, it's no, we're for real, it's real," and I was just like, "Ah." I mean, cool. If it comes out and it's good, then and it ever makes its way to consoles, then sweet. But like, I wasn't on it. Not because I thought there was something fishy. I was just because like now you got to prove yourself,
yeah. I mean, well,
and they
since
didn't.
I had watched that video, I was like, okay, this game is probably not going to be the game it wants to be. So I was kind of disenchanted for a long time. But then again, I also thought I thought it was just going to stay on Steam. So I was like, there's no point in me. There's no chance of me playing this anyway. So
Yeah,
even if I did care, so like, meh. But it's funny how you mentioned that. You know, it was so long you lost interest. You know, it's funny. It's not as long of a development cycle, but I would say the same thing with like the Last of Us multiplayer thing, right? It was going on for so long that like even
and
even
that
though
yeah,
even though I would have never played it, I completely just stopped forget thinking about it like at that point because I'm just like
and that's why I was like their last chance to get that out was
after the show,
at
yeah,
the end of the show. I
yeah,
think if they would have dropped it at the end of the show, people would have actually played it because the show was so good and left you wanting more
hmm
that they would have been had people go like, "Oh shit, I
hmm
need to go buy a fucking PlayStation," because I'm sure it sold. I'm sure the show itself sold some consoles and games.
maybe, yeah.
And I think that it would have. I think that would have been the best time, maybe even better than when the game came out, because I feel like the show got more hype than Last of Us Two got.
Well, oh, yeah, the second game, yeah. I mean, yeah, who knows? But yeah, so it's oh man, you don't see. I mean, this year's been weird. Okay, like we've had a great amount of good games, but like I can't remember a year we've had. No, last was pretty bad too, but that was COVID. Okay, a non-COVID year where we had like so many high-profile turds. Like this is the fourth this year, okay, that I can recall. Gollum was in February or March, and then we had the King Kong game, which was
I
like a few
wouldn't
months
call that.
ago.
I would call that the only reason that game was hyped is because it
Not
wasn't
hype,
that it
not
was
hype,
supposed to
not
be
hype.
good.
I didn't say
You
hype.
said high profile.
I did. No,
Yeah,
well, high profile like bombs.
I
Not
think I
high.
think that's like taking taking
Well,
a
am I punching down? Am I
yeah,
punching
punch
down?
it down. Like
Well,
that game
you
was
know
never
what?
gonna be good.
Fuck them anyways. So King Kong was the second one, and
No one
then
looked at that and was like, "Oh man, I can't wait to play King Kong. It's
bro,
gonna be the best game ever."
who would look at Gollum and thought that was a good game? I
There
knew
were
that was
people that were
crap from the
hyped
start.
for it
I
though.
knew that was crap from the start. From the start, that was a
There
crap
were
game.
people though that were like, "Oh yeah,
They had some
like a
rose
Lord of the Rings
tinted
game that looks
glosses. No,
good."
those are just Tolkien nerds who just want another Lord of the Rings game. That's all it was. They were hoping with a prayer that this game was good, but it wasn't. I saw one look. Okay, before they redid it, before they had pushed it back like a year or so. They showed that first trailer. I was like, this looks disgustingly bad. And then they showed it up again when they were like, we worked on it. I was like, this game still looks like crap. Like, you're trying to pay me $60 or whatever for the game to look like a Lego game? Like, get out of here. So, anyways, so that was the second one. And then Walking Dead Destinies, I think they called it. Um The Walking Dead Destinies came out like a month or two ago, and that one is also a hot pile of trash. And fun fact, published by the same people that did the King Kong game. They're on a roll this year, man. I don't know who keeps giving who keeps giving this publisher big licenses to make games. I don't know who. Like, you people need to vet these publishers, okay? But so I was 31, and then we end the year off with the day before. So it's just, man, who knows, man. There's still 16 days of the month. We might get another one. We might make it 5. I mean, if you want to count Avatar as Pandora. Oh, anyways. But yeah, so that's this week's podcast. This is a little shorter than normal, but hey, it's towards the end of the year, winding down. News is winding down. We may not even have anything to talk about next week, or whenever we record, if it's before the end of the year. But yeah. So, anything else, David? Anything else you got to say?
No, I mean, check out the new anime season coming up. It's gonna be lit.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of catching up on things, you know what? Thanks for the reminder, David. Plug. I cooked up a new video that I have never done before for the channel. I told David a little bit about it. I got the first edit or draft of it, like the full first, finished whatever thing of it yesterday. I'm gonna watch it today and give feedback to the editor. I did not expect it to be done this fast. I would have been fine with having it done by January 1st, but he was like, I'm putting in work for you, dude. I was like, damn, okay, cool. All right, works good for me, man. So it's actually going to be out probably much sooner, maybe within a week. So keep your eyes open. I'm going to put a community post on it too and everything to kind of, let you guys know what's up. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not gonna say what it is.
I was like, you're gonna tell them what it is?
I'm not telling anyone what it is. This is gonna be a fucking big old surprise. But yeah, so I'm hoping it does well. Like I said, it's completely something we've never done, but it is something that is close to me. That's your only hint. David knows what it is. But yeah, so we'll see you guys on the next one, whenever that might be. If we don't see you until after Christmas, y'all have a good Christmas if you celebrate it. Otherwise, happy holidays,
happy
rest
Hanukkah,
of you. Happy holidays.
Kwanzaa.
Just say happy holidays and get it over with. Happy holidays,
Christmas.
everyone else. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.